Can you score 10 out of 10? Today's topic, representing and interpreting functions. Let's go. The line graph shows the percent of cars for sale at a used car lot on a given day by model year. The line graph begins at 2010, 12% remains level to 2011, 12% remains level to 2012, 12% falls sharply to 2013, 8% falls sharply to 2014, 4% rises sharply to 2015, 9% rises gradually to 2016, 10% remains level to 2017, 10% rises gradually to 2018, 11% remains level to 2019, 11% for what model year is the percent of cars for sale the smallest? Option A, 2012. Option B, 2013. Option C, 2014. Option D, 2015. The correct answer is C. Check the description for the full explanation. The line graph shows the estimated number of chipmunks in a state park on April 1st of each year from 1989 to 1999. The line graph begins at 1989, 38 chipmunks remains level to 1990, 38 chipmunks rises sharply to 1991, 98 chipmunks rises gradually to 1992, 101 chipmunks falls sharply to 1993, 53 chipmunks rises sharply to 1994, 158 chipmunks falls sharply to 1995, 48 chipmunks rises sharply to 1996, 98 chipmunks falls gradually to 1997, 93 chipmunks falls sharply to 1998, 53 chipmunks rises sharply to 1999, 113 chipmunks based on the line graph, in which year was the estimated number of chipmunks in a state park the greatest? Option A, 1989. Option B, 1994. Option C, 1995. Option D, 1998. The correct answer is B. Which choice best describes data from the graph that weaken the team's hypothesis? Option A, a large majority of the municipalities that received an inquiry mentioning plans for an announcement before the next election didn't respond to the inquiry. Option B, the proportion of municipalities that responded to the inquiry or offered incentives didn't substantially differ across the announcement timing conditions. Option C, only around half the municipalities that responded to inquiries mentioning plans for an announcement before the next election offered incentives. Option D, of the municipalities that received an inquiry mentioning plans for an announcement date after the next election, more than 1,200 didn't respond and only around 100 offered incentives. The correct answer is B. Which choice best describes data from the graph that support Martinez and colleagues' conclusion? Option A, the lowest amount of grass cover was approximately 58,000 square meters, and the highest amount of forest cover was approximately 75,000 square meters. Option B, there was more grass cover than forest cover in 1987, and this difference increased dramatically in 1993 and again in 2006. Option C, there was less grass cover than bare soil in 1987 but more grass cover than bare soil in 1993 and 2006, whereas there was more forest cover than bare soil in all 3 years. Option D, grass cover increased from 1987 to 1993 and from 1993 to 2006, whereas forest cover decreased in those periods. The correct answer is D. Which choice most effectively uses data from the graph to complete the example? Option A, most of the farmers who mainly cultivated cereals and most of the farmers who mainly cultivated non-root vegetables in South Ondo were women. Option B, more women in Central Ondo mainly cultivated root crops than mainly cultivated cereals. Option C, most of the farmers who mainly cultivated non-root vegetables in North and South Ondo were women. Option D, a relatively equal proportion of women across the 3 regions of Ondo mainly cultivated cereals. The correct answer is C. Which choice best describes data from the graph that support the student's conclusion? Option A, on average, participants' ratings of the helpfulness of the review were substantially higher than were participants' ratings of the reviewed product regardless of which type of review participants had seen. Option B, compared with participants who saw the control review, participants who saw the low-anger review rated the review as slightly more helpful, whereas participants who saw the high-anger review rated the review as less helpful. Option C, participants who saw the low-anger review rated the review as slightly more helpful than participants who saw the control review did, but participants' attitude toward the reviewed product was slightly worse when participants saw the low-anger review than when they saw the no-anger review. Option D, compared with participants who saw the low-anger review, participants who saw the high-anger review rated the review as less helpful and had a less positive attitude toward the reviewed product. The correct answer is B. Check the description for the full explanation. Which choice most effectively uses data from the graph to complete the text? Option A, didn't show significantly less REM sleep during the second day after returning to land than they did during the first day. Option B, showed no significant differences from one another in baseline levels of REM sleep. Option C, didn't consistently demonstrate a significant increase in REM sleep after their period of deprivation in the water. Option D, showed no significant difference between REM sleep after returning to land and REM sleep while in the water. The correct answer is C. Which choice best describes data in the graph that support Ben's and colleagues' conclusion? Option A, under both temperature conditions, less than 10% of sites were in the up to 25% group, but at the maximum plausible surface temperature, almost 80% of sites could have all their local heating needs met by thermal pollution. Option B, at current surface temperatures, more than 80% of the sites have no need for supplemental local home heating from subsurface thermal pollution, but at the maximum plausible surface temperature, more than 70% of sites exhibit significantly greater home heating needs. Option C, at current surface temperatures, more than 80% of sites can meet, at most, 25% of local home heating needs with subsurface thermal pollution, but at the maximum plausible surface temperature, more than 80% of sites can meet greater than 25% of local home heating needs. Option D, at current surface temperatures, more than 80% of the sites cannot use subsurface thermal pollution to meet any portion of local home heating needs, but at the maximum plausible surface temperature, that percentage drops below 20%. The correct answer is D. Which choice best describes data from the graph that support the researcher's conclusion? Option A, the average numbers of managers and department leaders reporting directly to their CEO didn't fluctuate from the 1991-1995 period to the 2001-2008 period. Option B, the average number of managers reporting directly to their CEO was highest in the 1996-2001 period. Option C, the average number of department leaders reporting directly to their CEO was greater than the average number of managers reporting directly to their CEO in each of the 3 periods studied. Option D, the average number of department leaders reporting directly to their CEO rose over the 3 periods studied. The correct answer is D. Which choice most effectively uses data from the graph to complete the example? Option A, strong enough to generate about 150,000 more MWh of electricity from wind turbines. Option B, so weak that the electricity from wind turbines was about 175,000 megawatt-hours less than predicted. Option C, so weak that the electricity from wind turbines was about 150,000 megawatt-hours less than predicted. Option D, strong enough to generate about 175,000 more MWh of electricity from wind turbines. The correct answer is A. Okay, you're built different, that score is genuinely wild. Drop it in the comments. New questions drop tomorrow.